how to play 10 easy campfire songs for beginners. Now, I feel that these 10 songs is what every acoustic beginner guitar player should know. And obviously, 10 songs do them all in full detail for you so you know them exactly. It's got to be a very long video, so let's just call this an overview of them. But if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you a way where you can learn them for free off me. All right, let's go. Alright, to play these 10 songs, we're going to keep things very easy with not only the chord hand, but also your strumming hand. So 4 easy chords that I'm going to show you that we're going to do throughout, and I'll just add a capo here or there. Alright, so we got our G chord, so you can see in the diagram here, but I'm just going to put my fingers 3 and 4 on those top 2 strings, play my G like that, just like it is in the thing. That's my G. Now to do my C, all I'm going to do is just drop these 2 fingers, fingers 1 and 2, down 1 string towards the floor. Fingers 3 and 4 is going to stay there. They're not going to move. Then you get to the E minor. You can do this 2 ways. You can play it with just your 1 finger across 2 strings, or if you prefer, fingers 1 and 2 on those 2 strings, fingers 3 and 4, they're not going to move. That's going to be E minor. And then to do the D, we're going to look at just keeping fingers 3 and 4 in position and bring our first finger onto the 3rd string there. Alright, so 4 easy chord changes. Alright, and that's going to help you play these songs so much easier. And as I said, we'll just add a capo and you'll find that you only need those 4 chords. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, the first song we're going to look at is Stand By Me. Great sing-along thing. Great sing-along song, and because it's got the 4 chords, and the way that it goes is once you learn this one progression, you've got the whole song. So it's what we call a cycle song, because the chord progression just keeps cycling all the way. It's exactly the same, doesn't change all the way through. So we start off on our G chord, and we're going to do 2 measures on that, but in this hand we're just going to strum up and down. And then we're going to go to the E minor shape for another 2 measures, C for 1 measure, D for 1 measure, then back to G for 2 measures. Right. And you might understand there's 2 bars, 2 measures. I know that language does get lost in translation as we cross the oceans, so it all means the same thing. Alright, so 2 measures of G, all down ups, 2 measures E minor, 1 of C, 1 of D, and 1 of G. And as I said, it just keeps repeating that all the way through the whole song, so it's a very good one to get under your fingers really quick. Alright, my second recommendation for an easy campfire song to play is none other than Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. It's got a simple strum pattern, and 2 chord progressions that we've got to do. Alright, so we're just using the same 4 chords here, the G shape, C shape, D's and E minors and so on. So we've got the G for 1 measure, C for 1 measure, back to G for 1 measure, and then D. Alright, so that's your verse. And the strumming pattern is just down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Alright, and you just got to play that like in the verses 4 times through. The second progression starts on C, D, G, into E minor, C, D, G, D. Okay, so putting all that together, just that what we call the pre-chorus section there is C, D, G, E minor, C, D, G, D. Okay, all right, so let's put all that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just keep it short. So now we're going to go to pre-chorus. So once you get those two sections together, it just keeps repeating throughout the whole song pretty much. There's a couple of extra longer parts on the D chord at the end of that pre-chorus, but it's nothing too much. You can do this. All right. Okay, let's go back, put our capo on fret 2 for song number 3. And it's Wagon Wheel, great Bob Dylan song that he wrote in Darius Rucker and Old Crow Medicine Show, helped popularize, because I don't think Bob ever actually finished it. But anyway, all right, so we've got a G shape, D, E minor, C, G, D, and C for 2. All right, so how I recommend learning that, it's this, but let me back up a little bit. How I recommend learning this is because it is basically a cycle song. So once you get that chord progression down, it does the same thing throughout the whole song. But what I recommend is how to get that down is just take the first 4 chords or the first 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And you just repeat that until you know exactly what you got to do there. Right? Because the next time around, it just leaves out the E minor, so it does 2 measures on the C. All right, so you'll probably find that trying to learn that whole progression and get comfortable with it is if you take that whole big bite of that verse, you'll probably find it's a little bit overwhelming. So just break it down, right? Keep it easy on yourself. All right, so the strum pattern for this song is down, what is it? Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. All right, here we go, all the way through. All right, nice and simple, great sing-along song. People love it, right? And when people love the song and you play a song that they know, they're going to sing along, they're going to have fun, and the focus of you playing that song will be gone because they're just happily enjoying themselves. And what would a good campfire set list be without the Lynyrd Skynyrd Classics Sweet Home Alabama? Now, we're not going to do the full rock version of this. We're going to break it down into a more campfire version. So unless you've been playing a little while, you'll probably find that opening riff. It's a good one to aspire to, but it's quite tricky to begin with. So we're not going to cover that. We're just going to cover the chords with a different strum pattern, and we're also going to change how we play the D shape on this one as well. So we're just going to go for the D shape back to our typical open chord for the D. So all we're going to do is take that pinky off that easy chain shape and then put the second finger there on the 2nd fret. All right. Now, when we change to the C and the G shapes, that 3rd finger is going to be there, so we can use that as like an anchor, and we can drop those fingers around. Okay. So to play this song, we're just going to pick the 4th string. So it's going to be pick, pick, strum, pick, strum, all the way through. Okay. So we got 4th, 5th, 6th for the G shape there. All right, here we go. And that's pretty much it all the way through. You can get away with just a simple campfire strum like that, singing along, of course, without all that fancy stuff in between. Hey, I'm not going to stop you learning that. I'm just going to say right now, as a complete beginner, it's going to be a little tricky. So let's just take it a simple way into the song first before we attack those ones. Song 5 of my top 10, well, they're not my top 10, but like they're 10 easy Campfire songs to play, all right, is none other than Bob Seger's classic Old Time Rock and Roll. Again, very much a cycle song on this. We're going to do the same thing. It's just G, C, and D, so 3 chords on this one. And it's going to be 2 measures on each chord. So it's just take those old records out. C and D. Before it comes back to G for 2. Alright, and you can get away with playing that all the way through just like that. No one's going to really know any different. If you want a real easy version of it, if you want slightly more sophistication, all we're going to do is on a couple of times through the song, it's going to come, instead of doing 2 measures on that last G, we're going to go back and do 1 on the G and 1 on the D. So it'll be like this. Comes up just before the chorus, just before it goes into the solos. And speaking of solos, hey, you're not going to worry about those things right now. Again, I'm not going to stop you learning that, but let's just keep the rhythm flowing right now, right? And get that going, and then we can worry about all those other parts later. Okay, so the next song that we're going to look at is Learning to Fly by Tom Petty. The actual chords are F, C, A minor, and G. Now, honestly, if you were to play them in traditional open chord shapes, it's going to be tough. And there's probably 2 or 3 hard on your hands and fingers chords to play that as a beginner. So I'm going to make it easy and put it into an easy change shape for you. All right, so we're going to move into capo on the 5th fret here. All right, and we're going to start this time on the C shape. All right. And it's in what we call a split measure. So this, every chord changes every 2 beats. All right, so everything that we've done so far is just on see the 4 beats or longer before we change chords. So this one is like, all right, so very simple strum pattern. Same as like Stand By Me. So it's just down, up all the way. And we're going to go from C to the G shape. And then E minor to the D shape. Okay. Start it out. So the other good thing about this song is pretty much one of those cycle songs that we've been talking about. And so it's got the same progression all the way through, except in a couple of places as it comes out of a chorus and goes into a solo. It will hold out the last chord for you a little bit longer. But the majority of the song is just like that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and who doesn't love a good Tom Petty song around the campfire? All right, our next song on the list is Let It Be by the Beatles, because we've got to have a Beatles song at a campfire. It's a given, all right? So the good thing is we're going to stay on capo 5 for this because it uses the exact same chords as the Tom Petty one. So we've still got a C, we've got a G, A minor, and F. All right, just does it in a different order. All right, so instead of playing those traditional open chord shapes, which are hard on your hands and fingers, we're just going to keep it on the easy change shapes. All right, so this one moves in like, again, like a split measure thing, format, sorry, I should say. So it's just like, bass line in there, and that's a good one for technique and development of the strumming head, because it's all part of rhythm and all part of strumming. So we change from a strum pattern into a single note pick there. All right, so we're just going to keep this really simple to start with. So it's just G, G, D, D, E minor, C, G, D, C, pick. All right, and I'm just running down the 5th string there. Now, as I was calling out these shapes, I want you to think of these as shapes, not the actual chord sound. All right, so what we're sounding when we play these shapes is the actual chord to the recording. All right, so when I play a G here, G shape here, sorry, it's sounding a C chord. All right, so we've got the right chords going in the key that it was originally done in, but it's just using different shapes. Number 8 of these 10 easy campfire songs to play. And where would you be without CCR? Doesn't matter any age, as soon as you put a CCR song on, they love it. The whole party gets involved. And a great one to do is, it's only got 4 chords, is Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Okay, so we're going to keep the capo on at the 5th fret because, again, like Tom's song and the Beatles song, uses the same chords. So C's, G's, F's, A minors, but just in different orders. Okay, so there's 2 parts to this song. The verse just sits on that G shape, and it's just that down up pattern again, like we've done in Stand By Me and Tom Petty, Learning to Fly. So it's to the D. Right, it just does that throughout the whole verse. Nice and simple. When it gets to the chorus part, that I want to know, okay, we're going to start on the C shape, up to the D, G shape, E minor, C, D, and G. Right, obviously it does it a couple of times, and again, this is just an overview of what you need to know and go away and practice and develop. All right, but like CCR, can't go wrong with any of those songs. Okay, let's look at Under the Boardwalk, and in particular John Mellencamp's version of this. It's a little bit more acoustic-y than the original Drifters version. All right, so 3 parts in this song, 3 different chord progressions. They're very, very easy, but we break them down so it's not overwhelming for you. All right, so we start off, so it's got the, for strum pattern, we're going down, down, up, up, down, just like Brown Eyed Girl. So when the sun, so on the G to the D, sits on the D, G. All right, that's basically the verse, and then it goes to what we call the pre-chorus. All right, so we go to the C, under the board, to the G, G to the D. All right, so you got your verse, you got your pre-chorus, and now we're going to add the chorus on the E minor, under the board. Sorry, what I was going to say there is like, so for this section, we're going to change the E minor shape. All right, make it more of a traditional open E minor chord. Now, from your easy change, you can just take your 3rd and 4th finger off and just use fingers 1 and 2 there. There's the shape right there, so it's nice and easy. If you prefer, you can use your 2nd and 3rd finger there. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. This section, though, is probably going to be the one of the trickiest so far, is because we're going to change from the E minor into the D. Now, it depends which way you use it. It doesn't really matter. it's got to take a little bit of development to get that hand going for accuracy. All right, just want to give you that heads up before we go into it. All right, so under the ball. Got that little stop there that we got to do. And if you want, you can keep the strumming pattern like down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Or if you want to put an extra up in there as well right at the end, so it's like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. I'll leave it up to you. Both, you're going to need them, and it's a great way to develop both of them. You might find in one part of that song, it might be easier to do the shorter version of it, or just work with that. I'll leave it up to you. It's a great song to play. So we've reached our number 10 song of the 10 easy campfire songs to play for beginners. All right, and even though this song, when you mention Tracy Chapman, you immediately think of Fast Car, and that's a great song. I just feel this one for a beginner version, a beginner, is a lot easier to play and get on your fingers, and it's such a great song. It really is. All right, the good thing is, it is one of those cycle songs, right, that we talked about. All right, so it doesn't really change out of this. So once you get the progression, each chord though is changing every 2 beats, just like we learned in Tom Petty's Learning to Fly. So let's look at this song. So we go G, C, E minor, D. All right, and this song is what we got in there is called a push chord. There's actually 2 of them. So instead of falling on beat 1 and 3 for this change, we're going to do it on what we call the and of 2. So just before 3. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay? Great song to play, and once you get that, it's all the way through from start to the end. Okay, so that's my suggestion on how to play 10 easy campfire songs for beginners. Again, in my opinion, I think they're songs that every acoustic guitar player should know. All right, it was just an overview. Like if I was to sit down and teach you this one-on-one, there'd be over 10 hours worth of video here. All right, nobody's got time for that, not in one sitting anyway. So how can you go about playing these? Well, I did mention how you can learn all these songs for free, right? And that's through my Ultimate 4-Chord Songbook. Now, this is a video course. It's 1 song a month over 10 months. The reason I do 1 song a month is just so you aren't overwhelmed, all right? I find most beginners need a little bit more time, and so their members say that it's a great way to get it delivered and doesn't stress them out or anything like that, and they can take their time with it. All right, so as I said, 1 song a month, so you get each of that song broken down into small videos, so not one long giant video that you got to sift through or anything like that. Each section, each chord progression, each strum pattern, it's all broken down in a tiny video, so you can just watch it, stop it, and then practice it. All right, and once you get that, go back and watch the rest of them. All right, and with all these songs, you get a 1-page chord chart. So all the song is just laid out there. The structure of the song just laid out there on 1 page, so you can't get lost. You're not looking through reams and reams of paper. And in these videos, I detail my practice system that that people just love. It's easy to do, and you'll see quick results with it. All right. So that's the 4-Chord Songbook. As I said, it's all free. But one of the things that I've always found with online education, especially in the guitar teaching space, is that there's lots of videos out there. Everybody's got videos, but it's very hard to have the accountability for you, or a place where you can get your questions answered, right? And get feedback on your playing. And like, I wish there was something around like this when I first started, but like, we're talking pre-internet, so we scrambled around for little bits of information wherever we can get it. Now with the internet, we can get information everywhere, and it's a great way to do that. But one of the things missing is the community aspect, where you can just get the material, learn it, and then get help as you go along, all right? So I've done this through my new community called Campfire Guitar Superstars. It's all free, so you can get in there, go through the songbook, but interact with other members there who just love talking guitar, anything about it. They're all going through the same things you're doing, so they're all in there having fun, playing, learning how to play songs. And so you get that. We've got weekly strum and support calls, so where you can play me what you're doing. I give you feedback on it instantly, all right? And it's a great way to learn guitar, fun way. And because you're not sitting home on your own, you know exactly what you need to be doing, you're getting feedback on your playing, but you're creating lifelong friends in there as well. All right, so that's Campfire's Guitar Superstars and the Ultimate 4-Chord Songbook. And to get it, just follow this link here. You'll find that you just go there, click join. It's all free right now, okay? It will be a paid community soon, but for right now, you can get it absolutely free. And if you want a deeper understanding of these 4 chords, chord shapes, where you can use it with a capo, up and down, or just stick there in the open positions, hey, watch this video here. You're going to find all the information you need. All right, bye for now. I'll see you on the next one.